Welcome back to Books with Beck. I'm Beck. Let's talk books. We're finishing Alchemised. If it is the last thing I do. Unfortunately, I've been reading Alchemised for like 3 weeks. I'm like 10% into the book. I'm struggling a lot, and we're gonna finish this book now. Okay?
She's
Let's
having
go.
trouble with some of the words, like the and a.
No, the problem is I am busy. School is a lot, and it is unfortunately a high fantasy book, and I'm tired. So that's it. However, my fall break has started today. My Libby hold for the audiobook ends tomorrow, and quite frankly, I have an arc due. So I'm going to finish it. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We're going to go in here. We're going to burn through this book. I have 30 hours left in the audiobook. So when I say burn through it, I mean we're going to put a chunk down. That's it. That's it. It's really good so far. I love it so much. It's so good. It is not manacled. It is so different, which I knew it was going to be, and I'm trying my best not to compare it. But I think that is part of the reason why I'm reading it so much slower, so I can take it in for the differences and really absorb it. And it is really hard in the beginning because it's so much world building and keeping track of the differences between a necromancer and a vivimancer, and it's a lot. So I did find a really good key, so I'm going to be using that as I read today. But yeah, come along with me, and we are going to finish Alchemised sometime within the next 24 hours. You know, I hate when people look at me when I'm filming because I'm extremely shy. And so I picked a coffee shop that is normally extremely, in the trunk, extremely dead. It's very busy. Love that. So excited. But I have my book. We're going inside. Julian has his book today. Tell us what you're reading.
Dr. Seuss's One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Dead Fish.
If you're not already aware, Alchemised by Sin Yu is based off of her fan fiction Manacled, which is a Draco and Hermione fan fiction from a few years ago. I absolutely fell in love with Manacled. So as I'm reading this, you're going to hear me mention Manacled quite a few times. This Alchemised story is 100% separate and is its own standalone story. You do not have to read Manacled to appreciate this, but I do reference it a lot throughout my review. Right now is like the 25% mark, so we're definitely getting through it quite quick. But it's only 25% mark, so I still have 27 hours left in the audiobook. I am immersive reading, so audiobook, physical book at the same time. I am getting to the triggering part of Manacled, so it's getting quite hard to read, unfortunately. It's a lot less triggering. Hold on. Alchemised, Freudian slip. But with that being said, it is not as triggering as Manacled. It is a lot less triggering than Manacled. So I will say that. It's a lot less heavy so far. It could get a lot worse. Who knows what's to come? We're gonna see. I'm on page 257. This is where we're at right now, so it feels like I've done nothing. And I've been reading for so long. There is a total of, let's see, that's acknowledgements. Let me not know acknowledgements. There is a total of, the last picture, you know I want to cry, 1,024 pages. Know it's worth it. I know it's worth it because Manacled was worth it, and people said Alchemised is even better, but it is hard to get to that point. It is, because I'm still in part 1, and part 1 is the hardest part, so I'm struggling a bit right now. I do have my little notes page because I'm trying to keep track of all the little parts, so that's a little rough, but the interest is building. Like, we're past the world building piece, so that's nice. So we're actually getting into like the chunk of the story. We'll see. We only have about 20 more minutes that we can stay here before I have to go drop Julian off at work, and then I may go to a different location to read, maybe go outside. I don't know, we'll see, but that's where we're at right now. Throughout this book, there are 3 parts. So there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. Within part 1, this is present tense for the story's setting, and it's where she does not have her memories. Now, part 2 goes back in time when she obviously had her memories intact and tells us basically the context for everything and why her memories were erased. Part 3 is then the jump forward in time after she regains those lost memories, and it's basically her figuring out what to do next. Now, it's not 100% necessary for you to remember these and keep these in your mind, but this is basically the framework for this story and is kind of the map for the overarching plot line of Alchemised as a whole. So just keep that in mind if you hear me mentioning part 1, part 2, and part 3 throughout this video. Okay, I just dropped Julian off at work, and I had a really good time, like, actually getting to sit down and, like, read the book and really get to dive in, which I haven't had a lot of time for recently. But I was sitting down for like 2 hours. I don't necessarily want to go straight to another coffee shop and sit down for another 2 hours. So I think we're gonna take a quick little pause and go to a Goodwill and thrift while we just listen to the audiobook. So we're gonna do a quick thrift break and then go to another coffee shop to continue reading. That way I can just get some blood flow in my legs so we're not sitting all day. Ooh, there's a Goodwill right there. See, look. The thrift luck is shining down upon us. I just saw a Goodwill sign. Where is it? Where is the Goodwill? Eh? I just got done at the thrift. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick haul so then I can do my hand sanitizer and we can talk about the book. So I'll do clothes first. I got this tan bodysuit. It's double lined. Thought that was nice. I got another bodysuit. This one's black and it's also double lined, but it has like this square neckline and it's Abercrombie and Fitch. So I thought that was a good find. This one is a little snug on me, but I figure it's fine. Says Hocus Focus and it's got a little pencil. If you are new here, I'm a teacher, so this is perfect for me. I could probably wear this like next week. Another shirt that I got, I just put this on my Instagram story and tried to have you guys vote on it. Probably not enough time, honestly, to get any answers. So I bought it anyways. If y'all think it's a not purchase item, I'll wear it at home because I think it's hilarious. It says My Pleasure and it's a Chick-fil-A item. It's probably for the employees. I think it's freaking hilarious. And it's a cute little sweatshirt. So if it comes down to it, I'll wear it at home. Okay? No one has to know. And then I got a nice pair of jeans. It doesn't look like it's any sort of brand. It's just like a good pair of jeans. Maybe like H&M or something. Very basic. Oh wait. Yeah, it literally says and denim. It seems very basic. But books-wise, I had good luck. I have been looking for this book for my classroom for like 3 years. So this was such a great find. And then 2 Allie Hazelwood books that have been on my TBR forever. Specifically this one because the new movie is coming out. And my friend has been begging me to read it and I've been looking everywhere for it. So I'm so excited about these finds. I'm gonna go ahead and do my hand sanitizer so we can talk about where I'm at in Alchemised. Okay, I am currently at the 30% mark, so we're doing okay. I am really liking part 2. The changes that she made from Manacled to Alchemised are quite interesting, and I kind of like the direction it's going. We're getting more backstory on this like world that we're in and the Order of the Eternal Flame and just this world that she's living in and her life at the hospital and those sort of things. So it's definitely interesting. And this is definitely still going to be a no spoil review. So I'm not going to tell you like what is happening. But if you are someone who's already read it or you're reading along with me, just know that I'm to the point where she's figuring out her mission. So that's kind of where I'm at in the story at this point in time. So it's getting interesting. We're getting to the high stakes of things, so I think this is a perfect time for me to go find a place to read and lock in. It's now 6 o'clock at night. My husband's still at work. I'm just now to 50%. Not even, actually, don't let me lie. I'm at 47%. This book is so long. It has been a really long time since I read a big old book like this. And I forgot what it felt like because it's like, oh my gosh, I read so much today. I feel so accomplished. And then I look at where my bookmark is and I'm like, what the freak? So, yeah, my phone's about to die and the Panera people were like giving me the side eye. So I left. I'm going to plug my phone in. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to drive around a little bit, let my phone charge, find somewhere to go. I may read in the car. That may be what we're doing. This book is so long. It's incredibly good. And I'm enjoying the read. I think it seems longer because I already know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen because it is different. But, like, I do know what's going to happen because it's not that different from Manacled, you know? So it's like, I want it to happen. I'm ready, you know? So it feels longer, but it's going to be so worth it. So I'm excited. The payoff is going to be beautiful. But I remember when I read Manacled for the first time, it took me like a month. Because if you have read Manacled, it is so triggering. If you have any trauma in your past, like it is very hard to read. And so I had to pause. And I haven't had to pause on this book. It is so much less triggering. And it's only taken me, you know, a couple of weeks. So, and that's really just been because I'm busy, not for any, you know, traumatic reasons. So honestly, like, it's fine. It's supposed to take you a long time. It's a 1,000-page book with a huge world and there's no series to it. So I don't know. I'm excited. Unfortunately, I have no one to talk to about this. So that's annoying because my best friend who loves Manacled is not going to read Alchemised because she's like, I don't want to take away from Manacled. So feel free to chat me up about this because I have nobody to talk to. On a more positive note, I did just get a text about my nail appointment tomorrow. So I actually am really thinking that I could get Alchemised nails tomorrow at my appointment because that'll be right in line with me finishing Alchemised, and I know I'm gonna be like all emotional with the end of it. And I'll have the nails I get tomorrow, I'll have like through Halloween. And Alchemised is very much like, it's not Halloween at all, but it's very much, it lends itself to it because it's like the dark and kind of like eerie because it's like the blacks and the reds to me. So I think I could do like black and red and maybe gold, or I could do silver for the iron. I think that could be so cute. So I'm going to get on Pinterest and come up with a few ideas about my phone charges, and then I don't know where I'm going. We might walk around in Walmart because I ain't got nowhere to go. And if I go back into this Panera, I'm going to have to buy a meal, and I don't want to buy a meal. I'm not hungry. So here we go. To Pinterest we go. Okay, good morning. I have not gotten any farther in Alchemised since last night. So as of right now, we are dab smack in the middle of part 2. So we're pretty much in that 50% mark of the book. And honestly, we're really getting into the thick of everything right now, and it's really getting interesting, but it's getting sad too. So I'm nervous I'm gonna start crying. But we are on our way to Costco to go get groceries right now, and it's about a 20-minute drive. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my headphones and try to dive into some reading right now, because we just have a lot going on today, and I need to get this book done because I have some things going on, and I just really want to get it done. So I am going to go ahead and dive in and see if we can get to a good stopping point. My nail appointment is at 6 tonight. So by no means do I think I'm going to finish by then, but I just want to get probably to part 3. That's my goal, is to get to part 3 by the time we get to the nail appointment. And as per usual, after grocery shopping, we have to go spend a little money on lunch. Thank you. We have to go spend a little money on lunch, so we're going to the Chick-fil-A. Why don't you want to be in the camera shot? He's feeling a little shy today. But we have our Costco haul.
Spooky, scary.
We have to be fast because the dairy bag is not closed, and we're very far from home. So we're going to quickly grab something from the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. This Chick-fil-A is massive. Let me show you. Big old Chick-fil-A. Georgia is the home of Chick-fil-A, so we oftentimes stumble upon crazy Chick-fil-A's. So I'm not sure what I'm going to get, but we're going to get a little snack, and then I'm going to continue my reading. Okay, we have quite a drive to my nail appointment. That's where we're headed now. We went home. I got to read for a little bit while Julian took a nap. And I just have to say, I forgot, because it's been about 2 years since I read Manacled. I forgot how incredibly smart of a writer Senlin Yu is, and how she hides little things in her book because of the split timeline. Like, I'm reading the past now, so some of the present things show up, and I know some of the future things, and so I'm seeing some of those clues now that I don't think I picked up on the first time. And obviously there's some more clues now, so I don't know. It's very interesting, and she's very, very smart and just a beautiful writer. So I have a strong feeling I'm going to get into a slump after this, which is a little upsetting, but you know, this happens. This has been like the only book I've read all October because it is such a big commitment. And by no means is that a bad thing. It's just a very long book. And it needs to be. Like, there are some books, my husband and I were talking about this the other day, there are some books that are just big to be big. Alchemised is not that way. Everything in it is actually useful information. Like, it needs to be 1,000 pages. And that's not very common, that a book really needs to be 1,000 pages, but it does here. So I'm absolutely loving it. We are just barely, I feel like I'm barely moving. Once you get to the middle of a book, it's harder to feel that movement. So I'm not quite to part 3. I don't know if I'm going to get to part 3 before this appointment, but we have an hour drive, so I'm going to lock in, put my headphones in, and immersive read until we get there, and hopefully we hit part 3 before I pull into my nail appointment. That's the hope. Okay, good morning. I know I did not do an update after my appointment last night, but I'm just gonna put a video in right here of my nails. These are the most insane nails I have ever gotten. They are so extra, so unnecessary, and so freaking amazing. And can I just say, I posted a video of these on my Bookstagram and on here on YouTube, and you've probably already seen them if you follow me consistently, but Senlin, you reposted them on TikTok, and I don't know where I go from there. Like, there's no up from there. Like, that's top tier. So I'm overjoyed. I only have 3 hours until my audiobook runs out on Libby, so I'm going to immersive read for the next 3 hours to try and get as far as I can in the book. This is where I'm at right now, so we're getting there. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that far. Is my bookmark in the right spot? I don't think I'm that far. Interesting. But I did peek, and part 3 is really small. So it makes sense as to why I did not get to part 3 yesterday. So I don't know. We're gonna get to it today. I'm excited to finish today. And I'm emotional in advance because I know that the ending of this book is gonna just tear me up. But I think I have an advantage because I know it's coming. So I'm like a little bit more emotionally prepared. I've shed a few tears, but I've not been like bawling. So, like I said, I have a little bit of an advantage because I knew like the premise of everything coming in. And so it wasn't a shock to me when certain characters died and when certain characters had big things happen to them. Like I knew what was coming. It was still shocking and jarring, but for the most part, I wasn't shocked. So we're going to go ahead and read for the next 3 hours. I probably won't film a lot just because it's kind of dark and I have just woken up. I was sleepy. But I will update you in a couple hours. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I felt like part 2 in Alchemised was way longer than part 2 in Manacled, and it's all making sense now. She added a fantasy element to this that is so insane, and I'm like right in the middle of it, so I'm not talking to you long because I want to figure out what's happening. Oh my gosh. Major twist. And I'm so happy because I'm like waiting for something like I didn't know was going to happen. Ah! She's so smart. She's just so smart. Holy crap. I just finished. I'm gonna take a minute and then I'll come check in with you. All right, at this point, I've had a little bit of time to calm down, dry my tears, and collect myself. This book is 5 stars. Let me start there. 5 stars, 100%. Stunning, amazing. Senlin Yu is an artist, genuinely, in true form. She is an artist. I do not think that I liked this more than Manacled, but I'm not necessarily wanting to compare them. And I don't think that they're in the same lane. So don't get it twisted. This is a work of art. This is a stunning novel. And for this to be her debut novel, I think let me not knock this over, is incredibly impressive. This beefy book is so emotional. It is heart-wrenching. It is beautiful. And before I even talk too much, let me remind you, this is not a romance. I keep seeing this on romantasy hashtags. This is not a romance. This is a tragedy. There is romantic elements to it. There's a beautiful love story within this story. This is a tragedy. So do not go into this expecting a romantasy book. It's not. And I fear that is why certain people may not like it when they read it. Expect a tragedy. This is a devastating book that will break your heart and is very dark and is not supposed to be some happy-go-lucky love story that you just think about all the time. It's not. It's supposed to talk about the darkness of war and the betrayal and the tough decisions that are made when you're deciding what you must do in order for the cause of a revolution and to protect the people that you love even when it means not protecting your soul and those sort of things. It was so beautifully done. She is just incredibly brilliant, and she hides things within her writing that you don't realize are there, and then it comes in and it's all tied together, like little tiny details within conversation, and everything is tied up perfectly in a bow. This was stunning and just truly a gift to her fans, and I am so excited to see what she does next. Now that she's given the platform she deserves, I know she's going to go so far, because she deserved this platform so long ago. And I think a lot of people get confused whenever they first read like the premise of this book, like why would that be someone's favorite book? This book, to me, and I think everyone gains a different reason for it, this book explains the unspoken value of a woman's role within the world, within a war, within a family, within a community in which those hard decisions are being made, in which it's underappreciated, in which things are not being said and things are not being spoken, but the biggest sacrifices are being made by that one person and no one acknowledges them because they're happening behind the scenes. So that was one of the big things I loved about this book. I also love the fact that it's such a discussion over gray area. There is no right and wrong. There is so much gray area, and the overlap between right and wrong whenever you're having to fight the good fight of, fighting evil and those type of things. I could go on and on and on. If you love this book, please feel free and chat with me. Like, we could become best friends and talk about this book. I have no one that's finished it that I can talk to right now. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I haven't taken a shower. I haven't taken a nap. I've been reading this book like nonstop for so long. It's consumed my life. So I'm going to go actually take a shower and take a nap. So I'm wrapping this up. Let me know in the comments what you're reading now and what I should read next. I'll see you next time on Books with Beck. Love you. Bye.
Book Husband here. Like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.